That's our spread.
That's the only thing you should.
Yeah, spread.
I was just on
All right, good afternoon. I want to thank everyone for coming out today. We're going to give an update on what's happened in Joliet. I know we said last week we did a couple of these, and we're going to continue to do them to give pass on information to the community, things that we know or things that we've learned at City Hall. So let me start with what's happened in the city of Joliet since the last press conference we had. Number one, on Friday, Governor Pritzker issued executive orders about shelter in place and closing businesses. Since Friday afternoon, we've received a lot of inquiries or complaints here, either at City Hall or with the police department, about specific businesses that have stayed open in Joliet. So what we've done, we've after the press conference, the governor's office issued written directives that were a lot more detailed than what was said at the press conference. We have an order from the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. We have emailed that out to specific businesses that are requesting or asking whether they believe that they fall under the governor's directives or not. We've also put that on the city's website. The position we've taken at City Hall is we're not going to instruct any specific business whether or not they should close. We're giving them the information, we're giving them the governor's order, and they can comply with it as they see fit. We've also got a lot of inquiries as to regard to our police department, what they're doing with enforcement action. And again, speaking internally, the term of art is that we are going to enforce through education. If police officers or the police department is notified of improper gatherings or improper activities that defy the governor's order, we are in a position where they are going to give directives to the individuals to disperse or to go home. If we receive further information or feedback from the governor's office, we will deal with that accordingly. Secondly, in Joliet, it began yesterday. There's been coronavirus testing has begun at the Walmart on West Jefferson Street. It's already been in local media, but just to emphasize what this is being done by Health and Human Services. The city of Joliet is basically acting as a facilitator. Myself and Chief Roshner were contacted last week about this program that they're bringing to Joliet. Currently, the tests are only in Joliet, the tests will only be for first responders. There was wish by the groups doing this to include senior citizens who were symptomatic. However, as of right now, they do not have the capacity to do that. They are doing 70 tests a day. I've been notified the drive-through testing takes about 15 minutes to administer per test. And again, currently it's only open for first responders, but that may expand in the future. We'll let people know when it does. The testing began yesterday. They did 70 tests. The testing hours are from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. I've been told that as of this morning, they reached their capacity at 8:30 a.m. I can also tell our citizens I've received a number of phone calls in the mayor's office about the testing procedures, not just from local law enforcement or firemen, first responders, but from all over the area. We also are reporting that there is a second testing site open in Will County. It'll be in Bolingbrook at 680 East Boughton Road. The information we have about that testing site is that will be for first responders and for healthcare professionals. So there are 2 currently open in Will County and 1, of course, in Joliet. This morning we engaged in a couple conference calls similar to what we did last week. The first call we did with local municipalities and other units of government. And specifically, we have participation from the Will County Executive's Office. Nick Palmer was on the phone. Representatives from Shorewood, Lockport, Plainfield, Elwood, Manhattan, and New Lenox. I want to thank all of them for participating. Again, I think we all agree that the different communities exchanging the information we have and keeping the lines of communication open are important. That's what we're doing through those calls. I think the general feedback we got from the other communities, we all seem to be following a very similar pattern. The communities have closed their city halls. They're trying to limit the amount of contact between their employees and the public. They've also have taken steps to divide people. If one employee gets sick, that an entire department doesn't go down. So again, they're following basically the same principles that we are here in Joliet. We also received several communities have expressed that they currently have a necessary amount of personal protection equipment, but that they see themselves running low in the very near future. And that was kind of an ongoing thing that we heard from different communities or from different partners. We also engaged in another community partner conference call. Included in this were representatives from the Will County Health Department, from the Joliet Public Library, from the Will County Center of Economic Development, from School Districts 204 and District 86, from the Joliet YMCA, and from St. Joe's Hospital. Unfortunately, there were other entities that wanted to take part in that conference. We had some technical difficulties, so we're going to work on that moving forward because there were other agencies that wanted to be part of it, and certainly we want to hear from them also. I'll give some of the high points from what was discussed this morning. Number 1, the Will County Health Department. Sue Arenik was on the phone. To date, there have been 20 confirmed cases of coronavirus in Will County with 1 death. Ms. Arenik indicated that they will get an updated list this afternoon. Currently, the tests that have been run through the state of Illinois have had a turnaround time of between 2 to 3 days to get results. They are working on a test with a turnaround time that could be as short as 45 minutes. They also have established a coronavirus hotline. This is Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, 815-740-8977. It's 815-740-8977. So if you have any questions or concerns, that hotline will be available to you. The Joliet Public Library is currently working with other agencies on ways to collect personal protective equipment that people want to volunteer or donate. There should be an announcement coming on that in the future. Will County Center of Economic Development is currently doing outreach with local businesses, try to find out what their needs are, with an emphasis on keeping the supply chains open for Joliet and for Will County businesses. District 204 is currently on spring break this week, as well as District 86. We asked some questions about the meal program they're providing. District 204 said last Monday they provided 250 meals. By Friday, that number had grown to 1,000. District 86 said last week they provided a total of 11,740 meals to Joliet students that are not in school. Both of those programs are suspended this week, but they will resume next week. Joliet YMCA gave information. They are currently connecting with seniors in our area to find out what their needs are and if there's anything they could do to help with seniors who are quarantined or self-quarantining because of the virus. St. Joe's Hospital, we have a representative from St. Joe's Hospital here. I'll give a quick rundown and then maybe you could follow up. To date, St. Joe's Hospital is reporting no confirmed cases of coronavirus. There are 25 persons of interest that they currently are waiting on results to return from, but to date, nothing at St. Joe's Hospital. They are, again, reporting that they are on the verge of having access to test results within 24 hours of being tested. They also report that they have adequate personal protection equipment, but that they foresee a shortcoming in the near future by the rate that they're using it. They assured us that they are putting together surge plans if things accelerate, and St. Joe's talked about being a little bit overwhelmed at the number, at the community feedback, the number of Joliet residents that are volunteering, offering up personal protection gear, offering up food for the workers there. So they wanted to thank Joliet residents for the great outreach that has been done. A couple other agencies, United Way, we did speak with them after the conference call. Again, they weren't part of it. Some things United Way wanted to talk about. I received a call last week from the Veterans Assistance Commission, Christy McNichol. They have freed up money to rent out hotel rooms for people who are homeless. They are now partnering with Daybreak Shelter. Daybreak is in the process of moving all of their inhabitants to local hotels. Shepherd's Table is going to be closed temporarily. Catholic Charities is increasing the mobile food pantries throughout the community. Senior Services has spoke with the city. They reported their offices are closed, but all their phone lines are open. And they are in touch with 3,500 senior citizens in our community. They're, again, checking on the status and on the needs of the senior citizens in our community. So thank you to those groups. Again, the city is working with them actively, and we will be moving forward. And then finally, Joliet. The city of Joliet does have a smart message program. Residents can receive an up-to-the-minute community alert, not just on coronavirus, but on other things in the city. You can register on the city website. And then finally, the city has a COVID-19 resources webpage. I'm going to give the address a couple different times. And also, if we could put this up on Channel 6 and on our Facebook page. But any resident that wants to get up-to-the-minute information, what we know here at the city about the virus, you can access it at www.joliet.gov/residents, RESIDENTS/coronavirus resources. And again, if we could put that link up. So St. Joe's has representatives here. If you would mind stepping up and addressing or giving an update for our residents.
So I want to thank the City of Joliet for their support and for the way they have responded. We want to ensure that the safety of our patients and staff are a priority for us. And so we're doing everything we can to make sure that staff, that physicians, that visitors are educated on the use of patient protective equipment. It's important that we use them appropriately so that we don't unnecessarily exhaust the supply. So we make sure that they know how to use it. We make sure they have access to it, both for the PUIs and for the confirmed patients. And again, we don't have any confirmed patients yet at Joliet. So we've got what we need for today. We've got masks, we've got the N95 masks that you heard about, we've got gloves. So our staff has access to everything they need. They're appropriately using them. We've gone through the training. We have someone observing as patients go in and out of the room. We have patients appropriately separated. We're treating patients in the emergency department outside of the area where other patients are treated. We're addressing outpatients. So we're comfortable today that we have the staff, that we have the equipment we need. We're comfortable in the near future. We track the usage every day. We track the trend in the number of patients and the number of equipment that we use. We're fortunate also to have access to our parent companies, Ascension Health and Advent Health, that are both national companies, and they have a cache of equipment and continue to replenish. They have access to things we don't have locally. So Amita feels comfortable that we're doing all that we can to plan for the future. It can be an uncertain future, and the picture changes quite rapidly, but we're doing all we can to make sure we've got access to the intelligence, we follow the models, and we've got all of the equipment that we need, and that we continue to update based on the best knowledge of infection control practitioners of the use of every precaution that's available to us.
All right, thank you. And then, well, I guess one final note, we'll wrap it up today. Again, we will continue these press conferences as needed. We want to keep our residents, local residents, up to date with what we know that's going on. As is just stated, the picture keeps changing. As test results come in, I think it's clear that we're going to see a spike in these cases. We have a good idea it's going to happen. I'm confident, though, with our great partners at St. Joseph. Last week, Silver Cross was here. Our local hospitals are up for the challenge. Our incredible first responders, I have Chief Blasky and Chief Rochner behind me, and city staff that has fought through this and is going to continue to operate. And I understand, I think we all do, that these are trying times, and a lot of people are going through difficult circumstances right now. It's tough for people who are out of work. It's tough for small business owners to operate or to know if they're going to be able to continue to operate. Obviously, we have the challenges here at City Hall. On a personal level, my stepson was quarantined about 2 weeks ago. He's immunocompromised, and prior to this really exploding, doctors notified us that he had to be completely quarantined. So I've been out of my residence for the last 2 weeks. I don't know when I'm going to be able to go back in the near future. Doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon. I'm just bringing that up because I can emphasize or empathize with our residents that are going through a difficult period. A lot of us are. So as a community, I've said this before, I'm confident we're going to get through this. To hear the reports come back from St. Joe's and what we're seeing at City Hall with the outreach for people who want to help and want to make a difference, it's an incredible community we have here in Joliet. And I just assure you, as the mayor, city government is going to make it through this. We're all going to make it through this. So again, thank you for staff, Steve Jones, for our first responders and people who are getting through this. And thank you for allowing me to present this to our community. If you have any issues or concerns, you can contact us at City Hall or access, again, the phone lines or the web pages I gave you. Thank you.